You are driving down the highway, minding your own business, when suddenly that orange glow appears on your dashboard. You grab your scanner, plug it into the port under the dashboard, and there it is. The code P013A. It says oxygen sensor slow response rich to lean bank 1 sensor 2. Now, do not panic. This sounds like a mouthful of technical jargon, but it is actually telling us a very specific story about what is happening inside your exhaust pipe. Let us break this down like we are looking under the hood right now. This is a generic powertrain code, which means it applies to pretty much any modern vehicle equipped with Obd2, whether you are driving a Ford, a Toyota, or a Chevy. Specifically, this code is pointing a finger at the oxygen sensor located after your catalytic converter on the side of the engine that has cylinder number 1. We call this the downstream sensor. Unlike the upstream sensor that helps the computer mix fuel and air, this downstream sensor is the tattletale. Its main job is to monitor the health of your catalytic converter. It is supposed to be steady and reliable. When this code pops up, your engine computer, the PCM, is saying that this specific sensor is getting lazy. It is reacting too slowly when the exhaust gas changes from rich to lean. Think of it like an old internet connection that lags just when you need it to be fast. Inside that sensor, there's a zirconium dioxide element protected by a steel shell. It works like a tiny generator. It compares the oxygen inside your exhaust pipe to the oxygen in the outside air. When there's a difference, oxygen ions jump between platinum layers inside the sensor, creating a voltage signal. It's actually pretty amazing science happening right under your feet. When your engine is running lean, meaning there is more oxygen, the voltage drops. When it is running rich, the voltage goes up. The computer watches these voltage jumps to make decisions. But here's the catch. The downstream sensor should not be jumping around like crazy. That is the upstream sensor's job. The downstream one should be relatively smooth if the catalytic converter is doing its job cleaning up the mess. If you look at the live data on your scanner, a healthy downstream sensor should hold a steady voltage hovering somewhere in the middle. If you see it mimicking the upstream sensor, or just taking forever to change values, that is where our P013A code comes from. It is telling you that the sensor is failing to cycle as rapidly or regularly as expected. This could be due to silicon poisoning, carbon buildup, or just old age. Now, before you run out and buy a new sensor, you need to do some detective work. Check the wiring first. These wires live in a very hostile environment, right next to hot exhaust pipes. Look for melted insulation or broken connectors. Also, check for exhaust leaks. A leak near the sensor can let fresh air in and fool the sensor, making it think the engine is lean when it is not. If you do confirm the sensor is bad using a multimeter or by watching the live data stream, make sure you replace it with a high-quality unit. Cheap sensors often fail right out of the box or do not have the heater circuit built to the right specs. And one final tip for this code. If you ignore it, you might not notice a huge difference in how the car drives immediately, but you will likely see your fuel economy drop, and you will definitely fail an emissions test. Plus, if the sensor is totally dead, the computer can't check your catalytic converter, and you might not know if that expensive part is failing until it's too late.